and good morning. This is Mr. Melendez, and I'm bringing you today's lesson topic, which is 5.7 Double V Campaign. So, our focus question for today is what did African Americans hope to accomplish by fighting in World War II? So, these past couple of lessons, as we go further into World War II, we started to see that just like in previous lessons, that certain groups are starting to participate and get themselves involved in the war effort. So in World War One, we kind of saw the African Americans, like the Harlem Hellfighters, who joined to 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 be part of the war effort, and they did their part, but yet they weren't really getting the recognition that they deserve. And in the previous lessons, we see that African Americans and Native Americans both contributed heavily into the war effort. So we talked about Ray Elliott and how he was part of the Tuskegee experiment and what individuals like himself had contributed to the war effort, not just being a pilot, but also the wonderful things that they did being a mechanic, being nurses, being engineers, being flight instructors. And then we have Native Americans who also participated and using their language, which was never documented as far as written down or practiced, they Navajo Indians went ahead and joined the military, invented this code around their language in order to encrypt all their messages so that way the enemy weren't able to know what it is that they were doing. And they were very successful. And just these are examples of what they contributed. In today's lesson, what I want you to do is kind of look at this particular campaign, a campaign called the Double V campaign that started here in the United States. And you're going to click on to watch the Double V campaign YouTube video, and it's going to give you a sense of what this campaign was like and what did African Americans were doing at the time. What were they thinking about as they were fighting overseas and fighting to keep America free? What was happening back home to them as they were returning? Okay, so as you can see, this is a symbol that they use. This is like a poster, but I wanted you to kind of have a visual content of what it, of their like campaign slash poster. And then I just wanted to go over the questions quickly. So what was the purpose of the Double V campaign? Once you watch the video and you kind of analyze it, tell me in your own words, what do you think the purpose of the Double V campaign? And number two, which other groups have always had to fight for double victory in war and at home? And I give you an example here. So although they did not have equal rights, women always supported war efforts by sewing flags, working in factories, becoming nurses. Okay? So this is the type of example. So what other groups do you think? So women being part of their own group uh, have not always had equal rights during this time frame, but they always went ahead and participated in the war effort, right? Sewing flags, doing the Revolutionary War, and also uh, being working as nurses in the battlefield in the Civil War. And then we see not only in World War One, but in World War Two, women going into the factories and working in factories, building airplanes, building weapons, building uniforms. All right. Number three, if you were a member of one of these oppressed groups, and oppressed, I put the definition down here, which means subject to harsh or unfair treatment, would you have fought or supported the war effort? Explain why or why not. What I'm wanting to highlight is the question is asking, would you have fought? Not if the group, would you? So I want you to put yourself in that time frame and being part of that oppressed group. Would you have fought or supported the war effort? So this question is more based on your opinion. I want you to express your opinion, and I want you to go ahead and explain to me why or why not you would have fought or supported the war effort. Okay? So don't worry about the text box. When you as you're typing, the text box will grow and will expand. So this question, you're not going to be able to answer it in one sentence. You're going to need a couple of sentences in order for you to explain your rationale, why or why not you would have fought or supported the war effort. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the mini lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to stop in during our office hours. Miss Sonia will have hers today, and then tomorrow on Thursday, I will have mine between the hours of 1 and 2 p.m. And of course, you can always email us with your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Melendez. I am punching out. Please have a wonderful day. Stay safe.